Good morning, everyone. I'm going to be channeling Mother Mary today in my group on Facebook called Intuitive Angel Messages. So I'm really excited about this. She's been coming through quite a bit lately, and she is interesting. The other day, I was feeling I was feeling a significant amount of stress. So I remember sitting and asking her, do you have any guidance for me? And all she replied with is meditate. I was like, okay, memo received. All right, Mother Mary, I know what you want me to do. So she's pretty straight to the point, and she gets right to what will help you the best. She doesn't tippy-toe around. She's pretty direct. And I just want everybody to know that today is the last day to sign up for the Learning to See Energy class, which is only $20. And that will begin tomorrow at 9 a.m. But of course, the group will be left open for 2 days to catch up, and the class itself will be emailed to each of the students. So even if you can't make it live, the class will be available for you to download. So just so you know, this is going to be my first time teaching this class, and it is something that I'm really excited to bring to the forefront. And of course, after that is the remote viewing course, which is coming up April 15th until the 17th for only $129. The entire course is emailed to you, so whether you can make it or not, it's all there for you. And again, it'll be left open, that group, for a week afterwards, so you can catch up as well that way, if you would like. So I've been putting these courses and classes together, and I've been filming quite a lot. And today I thought I'm going to bring to the forefront Mother Mary, and then I'm going to channel some guidance for you for any questions that you have for her. The topic that Mother Mary chose to talk about today was how to endure on the planet moving forward in the future. Okay, so I'm just going to channel the guidance that she would like to relay for everyone to hear, and then we'll move to some of your questions, okay? So let's see what she'd like to say. She's just saying welcome and greetings, everyone. This is Mother Mary speaking through this dear one. Know this, know this. She says, I am here to help the masses, similar or like many of you here. We may call ourselves light workers, but many here on the earth are also here to help the masses on earth. And she's showing me as if I'm going to take a step forward, but I don't. I'm thinking about taking a step forward, or I will watch and see other people taking a step forward, but I'm not taking a step forward. It's like I have this resistance in me and I won't take a step forward. She wants us to look at our reason why we are not taking a step forward on earth. Why are we not stepping forward? She'd like us to write down a list of why I am not stepping forward on earth, and taking action steps, taking classes, taking courses, taking training to bring my abilities, my gifts to the forefront in order to help the masses. So she wants us, she's saying why, and she wants us to write that down. Some of us think about taking action steps, but we don't. And she's saying why? Why is that? So when you write that down on a piece of paper, then the reasons why or some of us will have excuses as to why will be transmuted by her, by your angels, in order to have less resistance. She wants to talk about fear. So many of us are holding steady, maintaining, operating in a way that is at times worried and fearful on the planet, also known as survival mode. And she would like any moments that you're having like this to be handed off to her in the moment. You can write it down or you can verbally give it to her so she can transmute it into the light. What she'd like us to do is create our own high vibrational, as they lovingly call it, bliss bubble. Okay, so my frequency is separate from everyone else's on the planet. And I maintain this frequency and I take really good care of myself to the best of my ability. That's what she would like to see for each of us moving forward. Because our reason why we're not stepping forward, our excuses as to why we're not stepping forward, they're just over time not going to be good enough any longer. The vibrational frequency has shifted on the planet, and we will either hold back and stay in more of a lower vibrational frequency, which many will do. Or we can rise up and lift our frequency up separate from others around us and hold and maintain our own vibrational frequency separate from what we're seeing around us, which she highly recommends. She's just talking about many things on Earth. There might be moments where some of us are experiencing things getting tighter financially, inflation rising. So in many ways, many of us will have to think outside the box to bring in a secondary or third source or stream of abundance. Okay. And this pressure is being placed. It is a part of the bigger overall picture. There's a purpose to it. It's not just happening for no reason. And that reason is so that we step forward and take action steps and do what we're meant to do here. Do what we signed up to do here before we came here. And she knows that we don't remember before incarnating here, and she knows that we forget why we are here, but we deep down having a yearning or a feeling, a knowing as to why you are here and what to do about it. She'd like to transmute any fear or worry about stepping forward and helping the masses, because it will be greatly needed. She's just talking again. I've heard Spirit say this before, which is there aren't enough light workers stepping forward on Earth, helping others. She's just saying that, the ones that we do see stepping forward and taking action steps, we can't expect them to hold all the weight or to carry everything upon them. We need more light workers stepping forward. And many of us will step forward and start to create our own companies, our own businesses online and in person in order to sustain our income. So she's just smiling and saying that unless forced, many of us won't take action steps. So things have to be made more uncomfortable or more difficult in order to think outside the box, in order to bring in another stream of abundance. Okay. All right. Okay. So does anybody have any questions for Mother Mary? And I'll channel the guidance for you. Feel free to type away. I can read your comments now here on my secondary device. Yay, yay, yay. One thing, I wasn't really big in the beginning with talking with Mother Mary because I wasn't brought up heavily religious in any kind. So she wasn't really the go-to to chat with. In fact, I probably didn't start talking to her until I realized my friend had little statues around her house and paintings on the walls. And then I saw a statue out in the back garden, and her entire house had Mother Mary in every room. Even before you enter the front door, there she was. Just a little like plaque type of picture. And I said, I sure sense Mother Mary in your house like crazy. And my friend said, yeah. And she started pointing out all these artifacts around her house that I hadn't quite realized. And I remember her coming to the dinner table several times to visit us while we were eating dinner. And then, of course, I think it was the second or third time she brought Jesus along with her. And I said, oh, I know what's going on here. Like, you're bringing Jesus now. You're slowly implementing. Mother Mary's okay. And then in came Jesus with her. Yeah, that's too funny. All right. So Babette's asking, what can we do more to help humanity? Step forward. Take action steps. Do something that you normally wouldn't do. Step outside the box. Step outside your comfort zone. So if we don't step outside our comfort zone, she's saying, then basically things will be made difficult, and then we'll be forced to step outside our comfort zone, which is what is starting to happen on Earth right now. Yeah. So it'll be like a gut feeling or a thought form entering your mind. It'll be a yearning to try something or to take a class or to go do something. It'll be not even necessarily my classes and courses, okay? It'll be something that you're drawn towards, that you keep thinking about, and she wants you to take action steps when those moments unfold. Or Spirit will also operate through other people's thought forms to bring an idea or something to awareness, bring it to your attention. So my aunt was great at that. She was so claircognizant. I was like, unbelievable. And, you know, she'd have these amazing ideas, and I knew Spirit was operating through her because they were just like so amazing. I was like, oh, that was wonderful. I'm so glad she just relayed that to me. But I knew when she was saying what she was saying, she had several really good ideas. I could tell Spirit was around the table and operating through her claircognizantly or clear knowingly. Okay, so it'll come through you, or it'll come through someone else around you, and you'll feel yearning or drawn to move in a certain direction. It's just many of us say we don't have time, we don't have the money. We make up excuses as to why. So it's really important to step forward when we do. Does divine timing have a part to play with stepping forward? For some, yes. And for many, it is far long overdue. Okay, so for some of us, it's divine timing. I mean, I asked for 12 years, and it was a step-by-step progress. Now, I'm just going to give you some back history on my own experience. It wasn't like I was drawn to taking classes about oracle cards or any spiritual classes. What it was I was drawn to working at a computer school. I was drawn to learning about the different classes that they had, and I worked at the front desk, and then I got to take these classes for free. I remember going to school in high school, and I really wanted to learn about typing. So I took typing classes, computer class. Then I got hired on by a computer school to learn even more, when I didn't have as much experience as I should have had. So all of that led me to problem solve in a different way, to use my mind in a different way, to be, I guess, more technically sound. And all of that has helped me with my business that I have now. And, it's just been incredibly helpful. So it's interesting how certain pieces will fall together and you'll be drawn to certain things, and then you'll see the bigger picture years later and how that tremendously helped you moving along. She's just talking about when we step forward and we step off, spirit will rearrange to guide us. When you do a trust fall, and you see those little dogs on Instagram, trust fall, and the little dog doesn't even hesitate. It just falls back. It doesn't think, oh, should I be falling? Should I be worrying? No, the little dog doesn't worry. It just goes trust fall, and it falls on its owner's lap, or it falls off the back of the bed. It's amazing how animals are. Animals are just so light-filled. They don't worry. They don't have that fear in them, right? They just trust fall. And even with people, I remember seeing this video recently. It's this couple, and there's this pond, and they were going to do a trust fall, except that she fell in the wrong direction and she went face first into the pond, which was kind of cute. But and he was like, "What are you doing? You trust fell in the wrong direction." Now that might have been set up for the video, but I was loving it. But it's the same thing. If you were to just jump off a cliff, or metaphorically, okay, not literally, or trust fall, spirit rearranges to catch you. Spirit rearranges to help you. And that's how I've operated in my past. They'll set something up for me, and I'm like totally terrified. And then I go, trust fall, okay, catch me. And they do. And they always have. And it's all about just facing that fear and stepping forward and doing it anyways. And if we don't, then what happens is what's happening now globally. Part of it is making things so uncomfortable that, when, rent increases, food increases, gas increases, all of these things increasing with inflation, we're forced to think differently and do things differently than we have ever done before. And she's saying the same thing that I've heard my angels say so many times, which is every lesson is a blessing, which means even during the difficult moments, the really hard times, there are blessings to be seen and things to be learned in that. Even when I'm struggling and I'm trying to find my balance within, I'm trying to come back to my center, and I'm having a hard time in life, they don't sit there and pity me or, oh, we'll help you. No, they're like, she's going to suffer, she's going to learn, and then she'll rise above this. So I don't ever have them feeling sorry for me or any of that. They're just lovingly on the sidelines assisting me. And if I have any questions on how to get myself out of the pickle that I've typically put myself in, then they will assist me. Usually, come on. Thank you. What? Yeah. Okay, well, that's that. That's not the first time that's happened to me where my lights go out. My God. So when things get really tough and difficult, they're not sitting there babying us. They're sitting there helping us and coaching us through it. And then we make ourselves get through it and out the other side. Okay. But as far as divine timing, yes, for some of us, for most of us, it's overdue time. Hence why she's coming through today and having this conversation with us. Okay, so Dee would like to ask about balance. Struggling with balance right now. You're in a rest stage. I get just rest and relax. Do what needs to be done, and then do what you feel like you want to do. So if we were to go for a percentage-wise during your day, I'm getting 20-25% do what you need to get done, like do the dishes, do the laundry, do whatever you need to get done, and then just do what you want to do. That's what I'm getting. And I don't get that this is a stepping forward time yet. It's more of a chill and decompress and do what you want to do time. Okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Tracy's just wondering if she's here to help by example, or is she meant to have another role? I see you on the sideline assisting, helping, contributing, like a partner would, or a wife would, or a mother would. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. A support system. Yes. And I get a thumbs up. They're not showing me any like big moves, like stepping forward in a big way outside your comfort zone, but they're talking about little things that will come across your path in the future that will have you adjust and move in a different direction. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to move to questions that are pertaining to where we're going. Okay. So a question here in regards to how can we help our children keep spiritual knowledge and abilities? Yeah, well, many don't. Many are operating in the third dimensional frequency, and that's not taught in our schools. That's not taught, right? She's talking about when our children come to us and have questions that we can elaborate and educate. And if we feel the need to teach them from home a broader education, if you will, more of a spiritual based education, or the topics that they're interested in, just like she's talking about some children don't feel comfortable going to school and they don't feel comfortable in the classroom setting. And if they come to us and we feel that we must take action in having them homeschooled or schooled in a different way or in a different location, then please do so. But many don't listen and just make them go to school. That's an example. So listen to them. And if you feel drawn to highlighting certain topics that are not taught in our educational systems, then please do so. Well, I can tell you, Hilda, with an alcohol addiction, from personal experience, no one can help. It has to be them being ready to help themselves. So when somebody has that addiction, you can try to get them help by, I guess, counseling or getting them into rehab, but ultimately they have to want to do it themselves. I mean, we can sit there and try to have a powwow with them with all their loved ones, but ultimately They have to be the ones. I remember this doctor. I was house sitting his home, and he worked in the local hospital. And we were talking about this topic of addiction and alcohol addiction at the time. And he was telling me that in the beginning, the family really wants to help the family member, help them with the addiction of choice. And then what happens over time as it continues on, the family gets kind of tired and constantly dealing with the same thing that isn't changing. The person goes in the hospital. That's where he sees them. They'll come to visit him or her, and then the family members will champion them. But over time, everyone has an expiration date. I've always thought this. Like, everybody has a level of patience. Blue life colors have the ultimate patience of all. If we didn't have blue life colors on this planet, I don't know what we would do. Let's be honest. Okay? Seriously, like the backbone of our society. And I'm just straight out saying it. But when a person continues the same behavior and nothing changes, then everybody has a limit, right? So it really comes down to, does the person want it? And sometimes, prayer really helps. It does. I know that sounds, it sounds whatever it sounds like, depending on your belief system. And if you don't like the word prayer, you can just say talking to. Okay. So you can ask, like the larger, more intensive energies, such as like Archangel Michael, Jesus, to really step forward and assist. That was extremely helpful for me, because it does get to the point where you need big help. Okay. You'll feel it in your body, Anne. So you're going to sit with stillness during meditation or having a quiet mind. And if your body feels relaxed and your chest feels relaxed and open, then you can go ahead and do that. And if it feels tight and pulled back, then maybe don't do that. I had the same situation with a good friend of mine that I've known since I was 18 years old, and he was needing assistance over Christmas time, and his partner had left him, and she has alcohol abuse issues. Okay. And she's still drinking, still doing her own thing, and he's looking after their daughter primarily by himself and financially all by himself. And things are tough during COVID. So I lent him half the money that he was asking. And then when I consulted my team, I was like, okay, I think I'll hold it half and we'll see how things go. And then ultimately, I told him that I felt comfortable with half at that time. And then, of course, he's going to repay that by the end of the year. But again, I've known him since I was 18 years old, since I've been 18. And it felt right to me. But the total amount didn't feel right to me, for example. Okay, so what if somebody wants to start a business that's not spiritually based, but still helps humanity? She's saying, go forth, go forth, go forth. Okay, so that's it. Go forth. Yeah, do it. So if you feel super drawn, like it might be setting up a floral shop, using that as an example. That is something that helps to lift the frequency, the scents, the flowers, the energy. When I go into different shops, if I go shopping and I go into different stores, as the veil is thinning more and more, what I'm noticing is that every store has a permanent angel, and it's in the store, and it greets me when I come in the door, and then it has a chat with me, and it's overseeing the entire business, the entire storefront, and it's overseeing everyone that comes in the door, probably helping to keep the frequency nice and high in the store too, and feel good. All right. So Lance wants to know if his situation is going to change anytime soon. No, not for a while longer. I'm not feeling it. You can feel it, like you're doing everything that needs to be done. So it's like hanging back and just waiting until something comes to fruition. So do you want to relate? It's they like to say it's divine timing. So it's just the right timing for when the right position comes available. So do we have a timeline in place that we want to relay? So they're showing me like 3 months out, and I'm not getting much movement or activity. They want you to know that they're working on things behind the scene of your life, okay? So with them saying that, you must have been asking your team for help. So you must have been talking to them, because you must have asked them for help, because they need your consent, your free will consent, to start working on things. So you must have prayed or talked to them, because they're telling me that they're working on things right now. Okay? And they want you to let go. You're okay for now. I don't get you're on dire straits, like you're about to go out on the streets and being the camper out on the street. You guys have no idea how many vans and campers I have out on my street right now. It's like unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And what I see from Spirit moving forward is more by the end of this year. I mean, one guy's in his car sleeping there for the past year. And I don't even think he has the insurance or the gas to actually move the car anymore. He just sits in the car. And I think he walks down to the grocery store. The toilet's right there, the local toilet that everybody uses. And he lives in his car. So anytime we think we even remotely have things difficult, and many times I've wanted to step forward and assist this young man, but Spirit's like, no, he's got to learn from this. And I'm like, okay, all right then. Okay, so you're welcome. You're welcome. But it's not going to last forever, okay? Okay, so I'm going to take a couple more questions. Yes. We're not always meant to take action. So sometimes when we're used to taking action all the time, and then we take a beat, take a break, and now I'm like, oh my God, I'm supposed to hang back and not do much right now to recalibrate my energy and rest and relax, regroup for the next step, the next stage. Oh my God, what does that feel like? Marianne, it's probably better if you ask a specific question as to what areas of your life you like to move forward. Okay? You guys have heard me say this before, and I'm going to say it again. Like, if we kind of do a blanket question where it's a little bit vague, then that's more of the energy that we send out in life. So maybe there's more stagnancy there. So if we have stagnancy and we don't have much movement of energy, then it's really important to be very distinct, very direct with Spirit, very direct with myself, and be very, and what helps in doing that is being grounded. So ground your energy and then be very specific as to what questions you're asking, and the help that you want. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. With your grandson Toby ever speaking, I'm getting like noises, possibly moving to the trying to form the sound of a word, talking full sentences. It's not going to be for a while. It's really just important to let him go at his own pace. And I mean a while, meaning like a while, not like in a year or two. Okay? But he came here knowing he was going to be doing this life in this type of way, okay, living this life in this type of way. And everyone's doing everything they can to assist and help him, and just to allow him to progress in his own way. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you're starting a new job as a loan signing agent. Will this help raise the frequencies? They say it depends. It depends. So not everyone's going to get a loan, are they? What they see raising the frequency is your smile, your energy in your office with your team as they walk in or they come around you, whether it's on the phone or in person, and your team and your energy impacting and affecting them. Mm-hmm. Okay. You're welcome, Lance. It won't be forever. And what I'm being told by Spirit is that the energy is going to it is starting to get moving. There's a lot more high vibrational frequency coming in, a lot more. Interesting that Spirit says, oh, that more light codes are coming, more high vibrational frequencies coming and permeating the planet. And it's interesting that we have these solar flares from the sun firing off, 17 in one day, 2 hitting the earth, and then even now more are coming. So it's just interesting. It's not the only way that frequency is permeating the planet, but it's interesting how we see this. You look at the Schumann resonance, that'll tell you something. All right. So I'm just going to channel some last words of guidance from Mother Mary for each of us. Move forward. Step forward. Do not delay. Stagnancy no longer. If you have any issues with fear, worry, stagnancy, send them my way. Okay? Send them my way. So any worrisome thoughts that pop up during the day, any fear that comes and washes over you, send it my way. Send it to Mother Mary. She's willing and ready, and she's just like, send it to me. Okay? Yeah. When I look at an ascended master like Mother Mary, I call these heavy hitters. This is my nickname for them. So when you have a heavy hitter working with you on your team, it's like you move mountains. They'll help you move mountains. It's amazing what happens. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. And I'm looking forward to the class tomorrow morning, learning to see energy. Woo! Bye.